Hello and welcome to this episode of Cosmic Crow Tarot. Now, a few weeks back, I did unbox this video for all of us. It's such an awesome deck. It combines a lot of different decks. I think over 100 different decks, tarot decks out there that it made one complete deck, and it's absolutely incredible. If you want to see that video, I'll leave it in the link in the description below so you can watch that. But this is about letting this deck, this awesome Alleyway Tarot deck, or yeah, Alleyway Tarot, it's right there. It's about letting it share its message with us to see what it has to share, what energy it wants to share with all of us. Now, when I did the unboxing video, if you watched that, you may have noticed that I didn't share the guidebook. I just didn't have time to do that. Honestly, I didn't have enough room on my phone because I save a lot of videos, I save a lot of pictures and everything, and I take a lot of them. So they always kind of are on my phone. I think last time I checked, I have like 20,000 different pictures on my phone, but that's not important. You're here to see your reading. So I'm going to share a little bit of the guidebook with you, kind of see how awesome it is. And you just turn to a random page, and there you have the Three of Pentacles up here, and it tells you which deck this is from, where to find it, to purchase the entire deck if you're interested in that, and the interpretation of it that the person that created the deck shares. So this is absolutely incredible because it gives you an idea, like if you see it like an illustration that you just absolutely love, there's some blank pages if you want to write something, but if you see an extra, like a card that you really like the illustration on it and you think you like the whole deck, then this tells you where you can purchase it. And that's an awesome little addition that you may not have known it has. Now, I want to point out before we get into this reading that there is a whole different suit in this deck that isn't in any other tarot deck out there. Because you've got the wands, you've got the cups, you've got the swords, and you've got the pentacles. Well, in this deck, let's see if I can find it, like the little information about that, the index, if you will. Yeah, right here. So if you have this deck, then you may have noticed there's cards in here that we don't necessarily know the meanings to because it's a completely different deck. And right here you can see that it's the fifth suit. So you've got the suit of pentacles, you've got the suit of wands, you've got the suit of cups, and you've got the suit of swords down here. And then you know those cards. The cards make sense. Those cards are the same in every deck, different illustrations, similar meanings. But that fifth suit, that's where the structure kind of just goes off. So I want to point that out in here because I will be referring to that if that comes up in our reading. But for now, we're just going to see whatever wants to come up, whatever wants to be shared with that awesome little present future advice spread that I absolutely adore because it's very simple, but it gives you a lot of information. So we're going to get right to it. Kind of shuffle the deck. This is, like I said, a massive deck. Just look at that. Look how thick it is. This is over 100 cards. I think it says 106, but I don't remember exactly. Backs are all different, so if you really start working with this deck, work with it all the time, then you're going to know what card is with each back. So that's going to make it a little more difficult to really trust that the cards that you need to come up are going to come up, because you're going to be called to different cards. Like, oh, this back right here, that is very much the Five of Cups. So I know if I'm feeling down, if I pull this card, it's going to make sense. So we're going to shuffle in my way of shuffling, as always. I want to begin this by thanking the cards, thanking our guides, thanking the universe for giving me a voice to share with you, because otherwise I wouldn't. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love doing it 9 times because I think it really gets that energy out there. We're not asking anything specific. This is a message for all of us. So a message for you, a message for me, a message for anybody that needs a message shared. We're going to ask what the present situation might be for humanity, where the future might lead us, but we must remember that the future is not written. The future is entirely up to chance and change, and what we might get is an idea that might not be the case. It can give us an idea of what to expect, but we are the ones that have to make that future a reality. Then, of course, there's the best position, in my opinion, the advice card. And that's what the tarot is really, that's its strength, I feel. That's what it's best at doing, giving us that advice, that insight that we might not have thought of thought of ourselves, because we didn't have that picture in front of us, that ability to kind of think outside of the box and come up with something we had within us, but we just didn't realize. So that's why we thank the tarot. That's why we get the answers from the tarot. You can see, like I'm talking, there's so many cards to still see. Kind of our little piles here are getting all messed up, but those backs, there's nothing like it. The backs of these are incredible because they're so different. They're so vast. They're so just out there, a lot of them, and it just shows just how incredible people's minds are and their talents and their their just ability, creative intelligence, creative originality and stuff. It's just awesome to me. I love it. Now we're gonna put these piles like back as best as we can. I don't know if I'm turning cards reversed or what there, but then we have that pile, this pile, and this pile. So we've cut the deck, so we don't have to do that. We'll pile them all back at one, and then we have a single pile again to draw our cards from. Now we're just gonna do this one at a time to kind of get get the really simple, just as much focus as we can on a single card at one time. So all we're gonna do right now is choose the card to represent our present. And it's this guy right here, this red, that you can see that's just calling to me. Again, that's what makes this deck a little bit harder to work with, is the fact that like the backs are going to be what calls to you. They're not all the same. So let's, if this resonates with you, let me know in the comments. We're going to see what comes up for our present situation, and it is, ooh, there is the sun. And this has major Halloween vibes, because look, the sun is actually a jack-o'-lantern. So this is really cool. Like I said in that guidebook right there, that guidebook is going to tell you what deck this is from. The guidebook is going to tell you where you can purchase this for your own card slinging fun if you want to do that. But here is the sun showing up in our present moment. The sun is, if not the most, it's at least one of the most positive cards of the deck. As it is the major arcana, I think it is the most positive card of the entire tarot, because it shows that happiness and that joy that the sun represents. Like when it's a sunny day, the skies are blue, there's just a couple clouds in the sky that you can make, think of them as different animals and things like that. You know, that's when life feels good. That's when your inner child is out having fun. That's when you can focus on the happiness, the pleasures, all the things that have in life that you really enjoy, and not focus on the stress and everything. This is the card of positivityness and happiness. So appearing in the present situation, it tells us to appreciate that. Appreciate the happiness that surrounds us. Appreciate all the good is around us, because that's how the way the law of attraction works. The more we focus on the good, the more good comes to us. Now, if we focus on the negative, then the universe says, they like to be miserable. They like all this negative. Let's give them more to be miserable about. So focus on that positivity. Focus on that good. And that good is going to come to us more and more and more. We have to be in that positive mindset in order to find positivity in our lives. That 19 up there, that 19 combines the Magician with the Hermit. So begin learning from that past, because that beginning, that's the 1. That 9, that's pretty much the completion of the numerical sequence before we start with 10 again and start over. So 9 contains the energy of all the numbers that have come before. So all those times we've begun, all those times we had to trust our intuition to make choices in our lives, all those creations that we did, all those strong foundations that we found and created, all the times we had to change our lives for the better, all the times we focused on love and reflected on the past, all those obstacles we have overcome, all the successes we found, all of that is contained in that energy of the 9. So begin learning from those experiences. Begin appreciating where we are today, because we deserve to be happy. We deserve to focus on the happiness. And this says that we have much to appreciate when we take that time to learn from where we've been and appreciate all the good that we have in our lives thus far. That's going to lead us to finding even more good in our futures. Now, this illustration of the sun, if you're watching this and you like crows and everything like me, you're probably a fan of Halloween as well. And at the making of this video, we've got about 3 months till Halloween begins, so you can start focusing on that. You can start seeing, let's say craft stores like Michael's and stuff, they already have their Halloween stuff out. So that, in a way, that's positivity. That's the things that we enjoy, if that's our thing. So appreciate all that you see around, that the Halloween stuff is coming out earlier and earlier every year, so you can decorate the way you want, because some of us, Halloween is the best holiday ever. So you can find stuff like that to decorate, and people that enjoy that in the middle of summer, in the middle of winter and stuff, it's just something that can make us smile. And what makes you smile might be different than what makes me smile, but it's the fact of the matter to find the things that you appreciate, things that make you smile, and focus on them and not the negativity, and you're going to find more happiness, more joy, and more things to appreciate moving forward. Now, the astrological correspondence to the sun is, of course, the sun. Now, we think about our own personal suns, like Leo. Leo's the one I think of most popular with the sun, because that's the one that's not afraid to show the world what they're made of, not the ones that aren't afraid to stand on a stage and sing their hearts out or act or whatever, and just be confident in themselves. But any sign of the zodiac, you have that sun too. Personally, I'm Sagittarius, so I have that ability to be optimistic and shoot for the stars. Everybody has a different sun sign. You know, there's 12 of them, so it's very 12 different ways it could go, but that sun within you is the ability to just go after your dreams, that confidence, that just belief in yourself, that individuality. Remain positive, be happy, let that sun shine in your life, shine internally, and you're going to find that sun in it every day. This shows that you're worthy of having that day in the sun. Right now, right here, right now, present moment, you have much to appreciate, and the more you appreciate, the more you're going to find to appreciate moving forward. Shall we move forward? We're going to see what the future might have in store now. And as a purple fan, this purple one is calling to me. We're going to see what it is. There is the back. It's got rabbits, so we're going to see what that one is. Ooh, and it is the Knight of Swords, and it's got a little rabbit on the front too. Kind of gives me anime vibes, but that is adorable. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the Knight of Swords. It is in our position of the future position, and this is the soldier that is not afraid of chaos. You can see right here, he's looking forward. He's looking towards the future, and he's like, I'm ready. I've got my own confidence. I trust myself. I trust my mind, and I'm not afraid of my future because I know that I can overcome whatever obstacles stand in my way. So you have that positive mindset. You've learned from the experience of your past. You embrace that weird, I love Halloween little soul within, because this is the Halloween deck. You have that I appreciate and I've experienced all that experiences of the past. So I began learning from them, and I know that every time that I face something else, I've learned from the experience of the past, so I can overcome that as well. So the Knight of Swords, that one is the one that comes up as the future. So that says, you know, there's going to be obstacles in our future. That's kind of common sense, isn't it? Like, there's always going to be obstacles. As much as we wish that every day is going to be a happy day in the sun, that's just not how life works. And we get stronger with every obstacle that we overcome. So this Knight of Swords says, no matter what that future holds, know that you are strong enough to overcome whatever life throws at you. As we said in the beginning, when I was shuffling the deck in my weird little way, that the future isn't written. So this card, it's not going to tell us exactly what the future is going to hold, but this is a very logical way to look at it, because there's always going to be things that just like cloud our minds, always going to be chaos that we face, because chaos is the only constant in life. So the future, it's absolutely going to have little obstacles that we're going to face, or even big obstacles. But if that soldier, that inner knight, is capable, confident, that inner knight, you know, focuses on the joy, focuses on, I deserve to be happy, I deserve to overcome whatever life throws at me, then they're going to be able to overcome it, just as we're going to be able to overcome it too. Members of the court, they don't have numbers like over here with the sun, you know, major arcana, everything, and 1 through 10 of the elements of the minor arcana. Members of the court, we can't find the numbers on them, but if we see them as the next step after the 10, we can easily find the number they're connected to. So the page would follow the 10, the knight would follow the page. Page would be 11, knight would be 12. So here is the energy of the Knight of Swords right here, connecting to the Hanged Man of the Major Arcana, which resides in that position of the 12 of the Major Arcana. So we have the combination of that Magician again, like we did with the sun, combining with the High Priestess to give this the creative energy of the Empress. So the Knight of Swords very much relates to creativity and creation itself, reminding us that we can begin trusting our intuitions after we focus on the good and learn from our past. We can trust our intuitions more. We can begin believing in ourselves, trusting our minds, and be able to create the futures that we want. This reminds us that the soldier within us can create the future that we desire when we trust those minds of ours. Swords, suit of the mind, it very much tells us to trust our minds and believe in ourselves. Astrological correspondence to the Knight of Swords is the first 2 deacons of Gemini, as well as the last deacon of Taurus. So Taurus energy right there, don't be stubborn about it. Be patient with yourself. That connects with that Hanged Man of the 12 of the Major Arcana. So there is having patience with the process, having patience with ourselves as we work to create that future that we want and overcome the obstacles that stand in our way of it. Like take this deck, for example. Over 100 different people out there, artists out there, created different tarot decks that they wanted to share with the world. 78 different cards with all the meanings, all the illustration, everything, the printing process, all of it. That took patience. Our own progress, our own ideas, our creative endeavors, that takes patience as well. So having patience with the process, dedicated to what we want to achieve, that's how we're going to make our futures. Now, connecting to the Gemini aspect more than the Taurus aspect, that is the mutable suit of air. So it's the mutable mind. And it reminds you, like, your mind can either make you or break you. Trust that mind of yours. Trust yourself. Put yourself in, put yourself first, and believe that you can have the future that you want, that you can create the future that you want by trusting yourself and your mind to overcome whatever obstacles may stand in your way. That soldier right there, that little cute bunny rabbit on that angry looking chicken, he's ready for whatever life throws at us, throws at him. So we can be ready for whatever life throws at us. When we embrace that inner soldier, really trust our minds and not let our minds overwhelm us, believing that we can achieve like happiness and positivity because we've done it before. That absolutely shows that our future can be great when we are willing to overcome whatever obstacles that stand in our way of making it great. Now we're going to move to the position of advice to see what the advice card is. And it's this one. This one is the one calling to me right now. Territorial. So I think this one actually teaches us something. So this one should be fun. It is... I got it, like right there, the world. Success, wealth, and the world. So this is going to be really interesting. We kind of like, if you don't know what the world means, we can kind of learn about it too with this deck. We've got right there the 21 of the major arcana, 2 and 1. That's like backwards of the 12 that we had energy of the 12 we had with the 9 of swords. So the world shows when we're focused on the good, when we're happy and positive and learn from those experiences of our past, then we embrace that inner soldier and overcome the obstacles that stand in our way, then we absolutely can lead ourselves to the success and wealth and feelings of being on top of the world. The little description right here says completion, harmony, accomplishment, and achievement. If the world reveals itself in an upright position, it shows there is great unity and wholeness. Something big is happening soon, a marriage, birth, a new job, or something similar. So a life-changing situation, like something great is coming, that feeling of being on top of the world. Now this actually has all the different connections, like to the elements, to the planets and everything, so we're going to check those out. Saturn is right up here in the left hand corner. If you can see that, you can see that symbol for Saturn. Now Saturn is the planet with the rings on it, the one of routine, of discipline, of work being put in order to find that success of earthly pleasures. And Earth, that is over here. So it shows that hard work and effort that we're putting in, that focusing on the good, believing we are worthy of happiness, and just happiness and confidence, positivity in our everyday lives. Focusing on that, that's changing our mindset. That's making us believe in ourselves. And when we change that mindset and believe in ourselves, then we can take control, soldier on to creating what we want. We have to believe, this is where the advice position comes in, because this is the card represent the advice. We have to believe that we can achieve that success. Believe that we are worthy of success and wealth and feeling on top of the world in order to achieve it. Change that mindset. Believe in the positivity. Focus on the good. Learn from the negative and love who we are today in order to trust ourselves and our minds to get us to the success of the world. Now the numerology aspect right there is 2 and 1. That's backwards of the Knight of Swords right there. Begin trusting our intuition. Well, when we trust our intuitions and we trust that we can make the right choices, then we can begin whatever it is we want to begin. Now I said that earthly happiness and everything, that is up here in the right hand corner, because that's what we're doing. We're in life. We're on this earth, and earth can be seen as our sandbox or our playground to create whatever we want to create. There's that 2 and 1. It very much is a card of creativity and creation itself, showing that our futures, when we're able to overcome whatever life throws at us, can be successful, can be wealthy, can be creatively beautiful and positive, because we believed in ourselves and believe we can achieve it. Now that is the I will admit I don't exactly know everything about like the different meanings and stuff here, but that is very much like a hermetic aspect. It shows just how far back that the tarot goes and how much we can learn if we like study about it. And I have the book to study this stuff, and I don't have it in my head well enough to share it with you now, but creation, creativity, creation itself, that's very much what the world relates to, showing that ability that we have to find that feeling on the top in the world, to complete what we're here to complete, to achieve success, to achieve that whole completion, harmony, accomplishment, to achieve all of it because we believe that we can. And that count down there, that count is 9. I don't exactly know what it means by that 9 right there. That's why if you wanted to get this deck would absolutely, territorial, it has that guidebook that's going to tell you all the different meanings here. So that's something to definitely look into if you want to study it more. But that ability to like learn from the everything around us, that's how we get to that achievement. achievement, that success of the world. We have to believe that we believe that we can achieve it, and learn from those experiences of our past. Just like that 19 of the major arcana with the sun said, focus on learning from those things of the past. Focus on believing we are worthy of happiness, positivity, completion, harmony in our lives, because we've learned from the experiences, we've learned those lessons and applied it to the path ahead. We can find that success and wealth of the world. We have to see ourselves achieving this in order to achieve it. And as this is the completion of the major arcana before we begin again, we absolutely can do it. We absolutely have this power. And then once we do, we can focus on beginning again, because that 21, that says we can make whatever choice that we want when we trust ourselves and begin believing in our own worth. So that is our short little reading right there. Now we're going to share the bottom of the deck, because I feel like the bottom of the deck always has like extra energy we didn't get otherwise, a message that we didn't have, or just more information than we had before. So there it is, the Knight of Pentacles. And how cute is that little Knight of Pentacles? I think this might be one of my favorite cards in the deck, because it's just so weird. Here's the back so you can see that too. Even the back is really fun. It's kind of dark, but it's just absolutely beautiful. Knight of Pentacles, there's the Knight of Swords underneath of it. So there's two soldiers there. Two soldiers, always kind of related to me, and made me think of friendship. The ones that have our back with stuff, the ones that can help us. So there is that kind of message that we don't have to do this stuff alone, you know. Life is more positive and happy with friends. Success and wealth and appreciating it and feeling on top of the world is better with friends as well. And really trusting our minds and everything, you know, when we trust others, we can trust ourselves a little more too. So that kind of connection to having friends to help us to achieve our goals is right there as well. But this Knight of Pentacles, that reminds us of that soldier that is willing to do all the hard work and effort in order to achieve that success of the world. So it's not just going to happen overnight. We have to believe that we are worthy of this happiness, soldier on to achieve our goals, and put in that hard work and effort in order to make our goals a reality. It's not always going to be fun. It's not always going to be that enjoyable. It's going to be mundane at times, routine at times, downright boring at times. But the harder we work, the more we achieve what we want to achieve. That connects back to that Saturn energy right there. With the Knight of Swords, I talked about Taurus. Taurus very much connects to this patience as well. The Knight of Pentacles is actually technically connected to Virgo, so that ability to pay attention to the little details and stuff, that's not always fun either. But the more we work, the more we're focused on our work, the more dedicated, the more patient we are with the process, the more capable we are of creating the lives that we want. And just like that Knight of Swords, just like the world over here, all of this, except for this is very much 22. So that kind of connects to that making the right choice for ourselves and trusting our intuition. But 3, 3, and 3, that's what we have right here. That ability to create the future that we want. Having that patience with ourselves as we reflect on where we've been. We focus on where we want to go, because we believe we're worthy of happiness and positivity. And when we're focused and dedicated on what we're working to create, then there's no obstacle that's going to stand in our way. We have that confidence, we have that dedication, and we're willing to put in that work even if it's boring. Then we're going to find that success and the wealth of the world. That is the path of life. We have to be willing to work for it. We have to be willing to put in the process in the progress in order to create something. Like take this deck, for example. It was a Kickstarter deck, and I think it's the longest I've ever waited for a Kickstarter deck, because of how much time went into creating it. Anything that we want to create takes time to achieve. That success of the world takes time to achieve. That ability to change the mindset and believe we're worthy of happiness and positivity. That ability to trust our minds more in what we do. And even like finding the success and wealth and the money that we want. All of it takes time, progress, patience. So have patience with yourself. Be willing to put in that hard work and effort to achieve your goals. Pay attention to those little details. That connection to Virgo right there, because Virgos are fantastic at planning stuff and everything. So plan what you want. Pay attention to the little details and put in that hard work and effort, even if it's boring, to find that success and wealth in the world, and to have every day feeling like it's a day in the sun. As always, I really want to thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you the insight, inspiration, and empowerment you need to create the life that you truly love and enjoy, because this is your life and your story, and you have that power to do it. If this deck is still available to purchase, I'll put the link in the description below. I know when I talked to the man behind creating it, Publishing Goblin, I'm getting all tongue-tied. When I talked to him, he said he may or may not have any available, because, you know, this was a Kickstarter deck, so that is not necessarily going to be available, but I'll leave a link in the description below of where you can purchase it if it is available. If you want a reading with this deck or any of the ones in my collection, then feel free to comment on this video, message me on any of the socials, or book one directly on my website. All of that will be in the description below. As always, I really want to thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and it empowered you to create the life that you want. You deserve to be happy. I guess that's all, and I'll see you again in the next one.